Alright guys, good morning, tournament morning. About to head out. Me and my co-angler, get dumped in the lake, and go fishing. Table Rock Lake BFL number 2. I get a little redemption today. That freaking Ozarks tournament a month ago still frustrates me. Getting a 0 in that and just not catching them until the very end of the day. So, gotta get a different game plan for today. We're gonna go try some different stuff. See if we can catch us some big fish and compete for a check and go from there. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to head over to the Ram. Next time you see us, we'll be on the lake. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get after it.
Purple 183! Thank you, 183. For 184! Now, purple 184. Purple 185! Purple 185.
Alright, so the first part we're starting at today, guys, is a little pocket. I've historically done pretty good in here in the past, so I didn't get to practice it or anything. Just wanted to start in here since it was on my way up to James to see if we could get a bite. And only had one follower, unfortunately. There's one following it. Little guy. They just swim right underneath it. Hell, I had about 8-inch gizzard shad trying to school with my bait yesterday when I was reeling it in. That was the only follower I got. From there, I decided to go ahead and run up the James into Little Ants Creek. Here in the first time Little Ants, I caught a 4-pounder here on this point in practice the week before, so we wanted to start in here and got our first bite of the day on a jig on the corner of this boat dock here. So in the video I say it's a 12-inch fish, but I wasn't able to find my board. It was tucked between two of my boxes, so I didn't actually get to measure that fish. After that, I fished on this point, caught a crappie on a jerkbait. Yeah, that's pretty well good. I got good job. Here's my first keeper of the day. My co-angler got stuck on the tree. I saw a bed down here, a little white spot, cast it to it with a wacky rig, and was able to get my first keeper of the day. Might actually keep. I thought he was little. Nope, he ain't gonna keep. I don't think so. Yeah, maybe not. Ow, I put my knee right down on that stupid metal thing. Oh, that hurts a lot. Now that I have a board that I found. Oh boy. He touches. He's over the line, just the top of his tail. There's a keeper. How about that? Hey, points! Yay! I don't suck. I thought he was really little when I first saw him flash. So after catching this fish around the pocket a little bit more, saw a couple more beds, but didn't see any fish on them. So we decided to run up into Ants Creek and fish a couple of other areas that I caught them in practice. So when we get into Ants, there's pockets on the left-hand side that I didn't get to fish because there's boats in them. Because we fished these pockets on the right-hand side that I didn't get to practice. My co-angler did catch a short off one of these boat docks, a 14.5-inch fish. We cut across the other side and fished around once there was a boat left, but we didn't do any good there. Decided to run up and hit the point where I lost a giant smallmouth in practice the week before, broke me off at the boat. And we fished around this point for a while, and then my co-angler was actually able to pick up his first keeper of the day on a brush hog. I think baby brush hog, just out on the point on a Texas rig. Close again.
think that one's gonna keep. He looks bigger than the last one.
All right, so now we hit the part of the day where I made a decision. I was trying to save the creek up the James there. I caught some fish in practice, really hoping I could catch my limit down here and save that for the second day since it was 2 BFLs back to back. But I decided to say, you know what, I only had one fish, McCullough only had one fish, we weren't getting a lot of bites, there's a lot of boat pressure down there, so I said let's go ahead and run all the way up to Cape Fair in the James. So we landed in Cape Fair, started Cape Fair Marina, here next to this dock on this stretch about 50-60 yards. We caught a bunch of fish in practice, a lot of little ones, maybe 1 or 2 keeper bites. Didn't do any good there, cut across here. There's a fish on a bed here, but in practice I saw it, I didn't see it in the tournament. I don't know if he'd left. So he didn't do any good bites in there, and so we decided to move on to the next area. So the next area here, I caught a 3-pounder on this point, a 3-pounder on the dock on the left-hand side on the big swim bait. So I was going in here, struck this big swim bait around, see if we get a bite. So there's a bunch of pan fishermen in the creek, so I didn't get to go in the creek, but this dock up here is where I caught a big one. So fished around, didn't have any bites there, disappointed in the area, decided to go ahead and move again to another area up there that I had found.
We had a crap ton of bites in here yesterday too. This is where I had this is where all my swim bait, almost all my swim bait followers came from in here yesterday.
So like I stated in the video, this is a pocket where I got a bunch of swim bait followers that I thought were short, but I think looking back, they're actually keepers. Here I'm throwing the big swim bait. I look over and I see a fish on a bed right next to this bush. My co-angler was getting some bites out in the middle in the standing timber, but I see a fish here. So I decided to go ahead and take a stab at him. I'm not much of a sight fisherman, don't really like to sight fish in tournaments with co-anglers, just my moral decisions there, but I did see one on the bed. I thought maybe I could catch him, so I go ahead and try to pitch over at him with a wacky rig, and I think like first cast I was able to hook into him, and it was my second keeper of the day.
Got him. Let's flip him in. I think he about had it down his throat already. Yep, 15 and a half. First tournament sight fishing that I got in. Could be one on the bed, really. I didn't see that fish was not there yesterday. Saw the bed, but I never saw the fish. I don't think he's 15. Nope, 14 and a half. Damn.
So after catching that shorefish, I was able to really dial into the pattern here that these fish were sitting out on these bushes, in front of these bushes, spawning. So I really got in and just proceeded to hammer on them. So I probably won't do much commentary because they're all about the same. In front of the bushes on a bed.
Oh, he's bigger than I thought, I think. Come here, you sucker. Nope. Nope, I think he's 14. No, he just got a dark mouth. I don't know, he's 15. He's actually the longest one I got. Almost 15 and a half. Son of a bitch. I missed it now. Number 3. 3 for 5 pounds. Oh yeah, I see him. I just saw one turn. Got him. He's little. This one is little. I probably shouldn't be boat flipping them with 8-pound test. I wonder if that's a female. I think that's gonna keep. Yep. I'm gonna have 5 for 8 pounds if I get 5. That's my biggest one now. That's 4.
So like I stated before, if I figured out that if I casted up more parallel to the bank and in front of the bushes where these fish seem to be sitting on the beds, if you got up on top of them, you really wouldn't catch them. I kind of figured out that you needed to make a longer cast straight out in front of the bush to get bit. And I caught a bunch of fish down this stretch, and it was a ton of fun to get up to the 5 fish limit and then even cull a couple times.
Net. Yeah, get the net. This side. Yes. Thank you. I've got to measure that one.
Need a cold deck,
Nope. So like I'll cast like this and I'll do this. Just catch the line. I don't think my finger. Yeah, I'd have to use my middle finger. I don't think my hands are that flexible.
You fish a biffle bug much?
I do. I think so. I do, but I don't. My buddy's way better at it than I am.
Was marshalling Scott Rook.
Alright, time to do some culling. This is where I wish you, like you said, I wish you could go up there and fish. You know, I'm gonna get in here. Nope. Okay, so those are the 4 little ones. So I'm pretty sure red is consensusly the littlest one. So we're gonna go ahead and throw red back now. What's funny is I told my buddy yesterday when we were fishing together, I said, I wonder how many fish I would have caught if we had went through here with the wacky rig. I intentionally didn't, after seeing all those followers, I intentionally didn't throw it. There's no point, really. There's one. Oh, he threw it. Oh, he threw it.
Get to that first one, first cast into the pollen, boom, he gets a keeper. He said, well, you sure hit that one on the head. We go to that pocket, we caught another 6 or 7 fish out of the pocket that weren't keepers.
Net. He's gonna be on the right side. Nope, never mind. He's gonna be on the left side. Thank you.
So after missing that other fish, that really hurt. The weights were really tight in this tournament, so missing a 3-pounder and being able to lose a chance to pull up for a pound really hurt. This was another solid fish though, so I was happy to have it. Culled up about another pound with this fish.
Going on down the bank, and you go for a ways, go for 20, 30 yards, you wouldn't find anything.
40 bites. 40 crappie maybe. That would be a yellow.
Zach, it's up to you. And if you want to, you can just start the motor up and move to the next pile of pollen.
Right.
He said, gee, if you don't mind, that's a good idea. So I was working just, I mean, this was working with 100% dependability in terms of catching numbers. Sandwich just slapping my ass off. Yeah, back then it was still a 12-inch link limit.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. At the end of the first day, to be in the top 30 on the boater side, you only needed 1 pound 10 ounces.
Oh, you bastard. I was hoping he wouldn't throw my Cinco off, and he threw it off.
You need an O-ring?
No, I have some O-rings. I'm going to measure him just for fun.
I think he hits 13.
I was going to guess 14. Yep, 14 and a quarter. Actually, just 14 barely. Man, like multiples in days. Like just tanks.
But yeah, it typically takes me 6 hours to go from one end of the strip pit to the other. And in a typical 6-hour day, I'll usually catch 70 to 75 bass.
Wow.
And it's rare not to at least hook an 8-pounder.
So after catching this short fish here, this is where I really had to make a decision, because if this was a one-day tournament in BFL, I'd most likely turn around and run through that area again and see if I can't pick up a couple more better sized fish, since I seem to catch a couple better. But since we had a tournament the next day, I didn't want to beat it up too bad. So I decided here to make a run back in towards the ramp. Here I just stopped at some creeks that were little pockets by the mouth, and I wanted to fish, and I thought maybe if I threw that big swim bait around I could catch one big fish. So that's what we're going to do here, chuck that big swim bait. So after fishing around here for a bit, we really didn't get any bites here. I did talk to a guy who said he lost a giant, so decided to head out and give us some extra time. We stopped out by the Kimberly City Bridge here in the next area and fished, threw that big swim bait around for about 5-10 minutes, and then went ahead and checked in for the day. Ended up having a good day, weighing in 5 fish. My co-owner had 2. Alright guys, wrapping up day number 1, Table Rock, BFL, second BFL, Table Rock Lake, April. Had a good day. It was a tough day. I really only had 1 fish early. That was just a barely 15-incher, you know, probably not even a 2-pounder. And then about noon I ran into this pocket where I had a bunch of followers on a big swim bait. So shout out to Josh at Burton's Bait and Tackle for letting me borrow some swim baits. I had a bunch of followers in this pocket, so I ran in there, and I thought most of the followers were short, but man, I smashed them in there. Ended up with 12 pounds, 12 ounces, got 57th place, which was good enough for a check, small check, but a check nonetheless, and really set me up good to move forward. So I caught all my fish on a wacky rig, a Cinco, a green pumpkin watermelon laminate. I caught one on with a Berkeley General that was in this white with black flake color. But they didn't really seem to want the white. I switched to that green pumpkin watermelon laminate and really smashed them in that pocket, and you know, caught them pretty good. Had some good fish. I actually culled a couple times. Probably it was actually the highest weight I've ever had in a BFL, which is kind of sad thinking about it, but only room for, we're going to keep improving and getting and breaking that record. So next tournament you guys will see will be Table Rock's Day 2. I've already shot that. I'm on my way to Milford. I didn't shoot recasts for any of those events, so I'm shooting them now. That next video you'll see. So check out the Table Rock practice videos. They're scattered throughout. Click those links, check out those videos, and the next video you guys will see will be that Table Rock Day 2, and stay tuned to see how I do and see if I'm able to capitalize on that bite that I figured out on Saturday. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Continuing to grow the channel. Really appreciate your guys' support, and we'll catch you out in the next one.